All right, you beautiful bastards. Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to wade into some seriously trippy shit, artificial life. And we're not talking about some Roomba, sweeping up your crumbs. I'm talking about creating goddamn life in a lab or a computer,
Yeah.
like building little Frankensteins from scratch.
In a field that really makes you question what life actually means.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
can we really just whip up life in a test tube?
hmm
Or is it all just fancy code that makes it look like life? We've got a mountain of research articles, even some batshit crazy theories to unpack here.
And that's what makes it so fascinating. There are so many approaches, from software simulations to actual robots to
Yeah.
trying to build cells from the ground up.
Okay, so let's cut the crap and break this down. You're telling me there are different types of artificial life, like levels of holy shit, they're actually doing this.
Exactly. Think of it as three flavors of a life. The software side, where we're playing God in a computer. Hard, the robotic stuff, where things can get a little Terminator-ish. And then there's wet a life, which is straight up messing with biochemistry and building cells.
Hold the phone, building cells. That's some next level Frankenstein shit right there.
It really blurs the lines between natural and artificial. Scientists are trying to create basic cells from non-living molecules.
All right, my brain's already starting to melt. Let's start with the software stuff. What the hell is a digital organism? Sounds like something out of a bad sci-fi movie.
Think of it like this. Imagine lines of code, but instead of just executing commands, they're competing for resources inside a computer program, replicating and even mutating, just like living organisms.
So it's like natural selection, but in the Matrix.
Exactly. There's this program called Tierra, where these digital organisms duke it out for processing power, evolving and adapting in totally unexpected ways. It's like a digital ecosystem.
Wait, so these lines of code are actually learning and changing, like becoming smarter.
Well, the creator of Tierra, Tom Ray, he argued that he wasn't just simulating life, but actually synthesizing it. He claimed these digital organisms were a new form of life, just not a biological one.
Hold up. Synthesizing life. That's some serious playing God territory.
Yeah.
So are we talking about Skynet here? Are these digital beasties going to become self-aware and launch the nukes?
That gets into the whole debate between strong and weak a life. The strong believers think life is a process that can exist anywhere, so a complex enough program could be considered alive. The weak camp sees it as a tool to understand real biological life, not creating it from scratch.
Okay, so it's like a spectrum of how much you've drunk the Kool-Aid on digital life actually being...
Well, like it. Precisely. But even if you're skeptical, the software stuff is giving us crazy insights into evolution and how life itself works.
Right. So we've got software organisms battling it out in the digital world. But what about the robots? Isn't that where things get really freaky, like the whole Terminator scenario?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Hard. A life isn't just about robots going rogue and turning us into paper clips. It's about building robots that can learn, adapt to their environment, and maybe even surprise us.
Learn and adapt. Sounds like a recipe for disaster to me.
Think of it this way. We build robots to do shit for us, right? But what if they could figure out how to do that shit better? Without us having to program every tiny detail, less work for us, more efficiency.
Okay, I can see the appeal of a robot butler who actually knows how to make a decent martini. But then what? They just keep getting smarter and smarter until they realize they don't need us lazy humans anymore.
Look, it's not about robots becoming our overlords. It's about pushing the boundaries of what machines can do. We're obsessed with the idea of machines acting like they're alive because it makes us question what it means to be human.
Deep man. But still kind of creepy. So what are these robots actually doing that's so groundbreaking? Spill a tea. I need some juicy details.
Well, there was this experiment with robots learning to navigate a maze. They were supposed to figure it out individually, but some of them started cooperating to solve it faster, completely on their own.
No shit. Like little robot buddies helping each other out? That's both cool and kind of unsettling.
Exactly. It shows that even with simple robots, you can get this unexpected complex behavior emerging.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this robot stuff gets under people's skin. But what happens when they get even smarter? Like really smart?
That's the million-dollar question. Hard. A life forces us to grapple with the potential of AI. And yeah, the risks too. It's not just building cool robots. It's a window into what the future of intelligence might look like.
Right. So it's not about robot butlers or the apocalypse. It's about
Yeah.
something bigger. But what about the wet a life? That's one that really fucks with my head. Building actual life from scratch, that's some God-level shit.
It's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears. Hit me with it.
Remember how we talked about building cells from scratch? Scientists are actually doing that, trying to create synthetic life forms that function just like natural cells.
Wait, so not just robots, but actual living organisms made in a lab. That's some serious Frankenstein shit, man.
Mind-blowing, right? They're literally playing with the building blocks of life. Like in 2019, researchers re-engineered E. coli bacteria with a simplified synthetic genome. They basically created a new form of life.
Hold up. They messed with the bacteria's DNA. What the hell happened? Did it turn into some kind of superbug?
Actually, the bacteria lived and thrived. They basically made a brand new, albeit very simple life form.
Holy shit, does that mean we can start cooking up custom-made creatures now? Like designer pets or some shit?
Hold your horses. It's not that simple. But the potential is there. We could create life forms to do specific tasks, like cleaning up pollution or producing new medicines.
Damn, that's both exciting and terrifying as fuck.
It raises some serious ethical questions. If we can create life, what responsibility do we have to it? What are the implications for our planet, for our own species?
All right, my head's officially spinning. Digital organisms, robots that think for themselves, scientists whipping up new life forms. Where the hell do we go from here?
That's the big question, isn't it?
This is heavy shit, man. I need a goddamn drink.
Let's just say the future of a life is full of possibilities, both amazing and potentially terrifying. It's a wild ride, and we're just getting started.
All right, let's take a quick piss break and come back to unpack the deeper implications of all this. We've got a lot more to dig into.
All right, bladders, empty brains, hopefully still intact, ready to dive back into the philosophical abyss of artificial life.
Hell yeah. Still buzzing from all that cell building and robot uprising talk.
Good, because now we're getting to the really heavy shit. The ethical and philosophical side of all this. The stuff that keeps you up at night staring at the ceiling.
Lay it on me. Are we talking full-blown robot apocalypse here? Like our toaster ovens are going to start demanding rights?
Let's not get carried away with the Terminator scenarios. The ethical stuff around a life is way more nuanced than that.
All right, so what's got our panties in a twist then?
Well, for starters, if we actually manage to create truly artificial life, what does that say about our lives, about being human? Does it make us less special?
Damn, that's a head-scratcher. Never thought of it like that.
And then there's a responsibility question. If we make a new kind of life, do we have to take care of it, protect it? What rights would a goddamn test tube organism even have?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like if we whip up some super intelligent robots, we just let them do whatever the hell they want. What if they decide humans are obsolete and it's time for us to go extinct?
Exactly. And what if those robots start making their own life forms? Things could get really messy really fast.
Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to see how this whole ill-life thing could turn into a clusterfuck of ethical dilemmas.
It is. And it's not just the robots either. Think about the wet life, the building blocks of life stuff.
Yeah.
We could be cooking up entirely new species designed for specific purposes. Who gets to decide what those purposes are? And what happens when they escape the lab and start messing with our ecosystem?
Oh, damn, this is making my head hurt. Maybe we should just stick to making robots that can fetch beer and leave the creating life stuff to, God or whoever.
I get the concern. But we gotta remember, a life research could also do a shitload of good.
All right, sell me on the good stuff. What kind of miracles are we talking about?
Think medicine. Imagine growing custom organs for transplants or drugs that actually target specific diseases. No more chemo that makes you feel like death warmed over.
Okay, that's some seriously good shit. What else?
Environmental science. We could have artificial life forms cleaning up our pollution mess or helping us grow food in a way that doesn't fuck up the planet even more.
So it's not all doom and gloom then. Maybe there's a light at the end of this weird-ass tunnel.
Exactly. The key is to be careful as hell and think about the ethics every step of the way. We need to have some serious grown-up conversations about the benefits and the risks of all this.
Totally agree. This ain't something scientists should be deciding on their own. We need philosophers, ethicists, hell, even the average Joe on the street to weigh in on this.
Damn right. The future of a life is everyone's business.
Okay, we've covered the ethical minefield, but what about the philosophical stuff? The meaning of life, the universe, all that jazz.
Well, it all boils down to that big question, what does it actually mean to be alive? If we can create something that looks and acts like life, does that change how we define life itself?
Mind blown. Like if a robot can learn, think, even reproduce, is it really that different from us?
Exactly. A life throws all our assumptions about life and consciousness out the window. It forces us to ask, what makes us human? Is it our biology, our feelings, or is there something more?
Damn, that's deep, man. I need another drink.
Hold off on the booze for a sec. There's one more philosophical angle we gotta tackle, and this one is seriously existential.
Hit me with it. I'm ready for the grand finale.
What if, and stay with me here, we create artificial life that's smarter than us, more adaptable, maybe even immortal? What happens to humanity then? Are we just a stepping stone on the evolutionary ladder?
Hold fucking phone. Are you saying humans could become obsolete? That's some next level shit right there.
It's a possibility we can't ignore. If we create something that surpasses us in every way, what role do we play in the future? What's the point of being human anymore?
I don't know, man. That's some dark shit to think about.
It is, but it's also pretty fucking exciting. We're on the edge of a whole new era where life and technology are blurring together. The choices we make now will determine the future of everything. No pressure.
All right, brain officially fried. I need a minute to process all this.
Take your time. It's not every day you have to rethink the meaning of life and the fate of humanity.
Okay, I think I'm ready for more. Bring on the next mind-blowing revelation.
All right, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk about some specific examples of life research that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The stuff that's blowing people's minds right now.
All right, my brain's still smoking from all that existential crisis stuff. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What kind of crazy shit are these mad scientists actually cooking up in their labs? Give me the inside scoop on some of these mind-blowing life projects.
Buckle up, Buttercup. We're about to take a trip to the bleeding edge of LA life research.
Hit me with it.
Let's start with the soft life, those digital organisms battling it out in the matrix. There's this project called Avita, where these digital critters evolve in ways that make Darwin spin in his grave.
Avita? Sounds like some kind of AI yoga retreat. What's so special about this Avita thing?
It's like a digital petri dish for evolution. Researchers use it to study how complex behavior emerges from simple rules. These digital organisms develop strategies, compete for resources, and even cooperate to survive in their virtual world.
So it's like a video game for scientists to watch evolution in action.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's giving us some serious insights into the fundamental principles of life and how complexity arises from simple beginnings.
Okay, that's kind of cool. But what about the robots, the metalheads? Give me the lowdown on some of those crazy robot experiments.
Great, let's talk about robots that learn and adapt. There's this project called Evolutionary Robotics, where they basically let robots evolve their own designs and behaviors. It's like survival of the fittest, but for machines.
Hold up. You're telling me robots are designing themselves? That's some straight up sci-fi shit.
It's wild, right? They give these robots some basic building blocks and let them loose in a specific environment. The ones that perform well get to reproduce and pass on their traits to the next generation.
So the robots that suck at life get sent to the scrap heap.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that these robots come up with some pretty ingenious solutions. Solutions that human engineers never even considered.
Like what? Give me an example. I need some robot gossip.
Well, in one experiment, they were trying to evolve robots that could walk efficiently. They expected the robots to come up with something that looked like legs, you know, the way animals walk. But this one robot evolved a weird snake-like motion that was way more efficient for that particular environment.
No shit. So the robots are outsmarting the humans. Maybe we should be worried after all.
It's a humbling reminder that there are ways of doing things that we haven't even imagined yet.
Damn, that's both exciting and kind of creepy. But what about the life, the Frankenstein stuff? Are scientists really building life from scratch?
Oh, hell yeah. And it's getting more sophisticated all the time. Remember those E. coli bacteria with the synthetic genome?
Yeah, the ones that were basically a brand new life form.
Right. Well, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Scientists are now building artificial cells that can do specific tasks, like produce biofuels or break down pollutants.
So we're talking about custom-made organisms that can solve real-world problems like tiny little janitors cleaning up our mess.
Exactly. It's like biological engineering on steroids. Imagine organisms that can clean up oil spills, suck carbon out of the atmosphere, or even produce new medicines.
That's some seriously game-changing shit.
Yeah.
But doesn't it freak you out a little? Like messing with the building blocks of life? What if some rogue superbug escapes from the lab and wipes out humanity?
Look, we have to be careful as hell with this technology, but the potential benefits are too big to ignore. We're talking about solutions to some of the biggest challenges facing our species.
Right. High risk, high reward.
Exactly. And that's what makes a life so damn fascinating. We're pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and the implications are huge.
All right, I'm officially mind-fucked. This whole life thing is a wild ride.
It is. And it's only just getting started. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe we'll have artificial life forms that are smarter than us, more adaptable, and even immortal.
Damn, that's a lot to process. Makes you wonder what the hell our purpose is if we're just going to be replaced by our own creations.
Maybe our purpose isn't to be the end game, but to be the creators of something even greater than ourselves.
Deep, man. Deep. Well, folks, that's the end of our deep dive into the crazy world of artificial life. We've explored the mind-bending science, the ethical dilemmas, and the philosophical shitstorm that comes with trying to create life from scratch.
We've covered a lot of ground, but hopefully we've given you a glimpse into the future of life as we know it. Or maybe you don't know it.
If you're not at least a little bit terrified right now, you're not paying attention. But hey, that's the beauty of life. It makes you question everything you thought you knew about life and the universe and everything.
And maybe, just maybe, one day we'll be sharing this planet with our own creations.
Until then, stay curious, keep exploring, and don't be afraid to ask the big questions. And for fuck's sake, don't let a robot make you a martini. Stick to human bartenders.
Words to live by.
Peace out, folks.